in and flood your mind. When you think you're going down, when you think you're not going to make it, when you think you're going to fail God, or you've not measured up. When the enemy comes in and tells you that you're unworthy, you're unholy, you're no good, you'll never get it. What do you do when the enemy comes in like a flood? You see, the Lord raises up a standard. Let me show you what that standard is. Look at verse 1. The Lord reigneth. He is clothed with majesty. The Lord is clothed with strength, wherewith he hath girded himself. And he's put on his armor and set for battle. You have to have a clear vision that your Lord and Savior is standing by. His eyes on your flood. His eyes on you. You have to have a clear vision of what God has promised here. I've not ignored you. I see where you're at. I see what you're going through. Look at me, he says. I have girded myself. I put on my armor. I have my sword in hand. And then read what it says, verse 4. The Lord on high is mightier than the noise of many waters, yea, than the mighty waves of the sea. God says, get your eyes off the flood, get it on me. I've got my sword in hand. I am more powerful. I am mightier than all your floods. I'm bigger than all your fears. Get your eyes off your fears. He said, I've girded myself. That hit me. I could hardly sleep. I picture my Lord standing over me, sword in hand. He knows how far it can go and no farther. He'll come and slay the dragon in his time. He's saying, now you just stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. You just put your trust in me right now. Don't be afraid.
Alrighty.
That's all creationists want to talk about. So what is the point then of this call is what I want to know.
So what is your thesis statement, Richard? I'm curious.
The thesis statement.
What do you call this?
Well, for one thing, as far as the Gari goes, I think that's nothing more than an ape skull, and I think that you can tell by the teeth it's an ape skull. I don't think it was
really. What about the? I mean, I know. Yeah, you're right. Of course, it's an ape skull. Like you're right because
it is an ape skull.
Obviously, that was interesting. But what I'm asking though, when you say it's an ape skull, Richard, you're meaning a non-hominin ape, are you not?
Oh, I mean that's kind of the definition of hominid. You know, I mean, like, do you say hominid or hominini or
there's one?
What is it?
There's only one.
There can be only one.
A hominin is any closest living relatives with some entities. And bonobos.
I know that you guys know the definition of hominin.
A hominin is N-I-N. Let me ask you a question. Are you saying that your food is not? I'm sorry, I was interrupted. That was my bad. There isn't an Australopithecus specimen fossil that clearly represents an intermediate between modern day humans, some kind of intermediate between modern day humans and ancient Miocene apes.
There can be only one.
And we.
Alrighty, everybody, and welcome to a very special episode. But like always, every episode is special. Thank you, Achilles. I see they added some buttons or something. Maybe you did something. I don't know. It's my fault, though. But welcome to a very special episode. Today I got my guests. I got my Greek friend who is always kind to be here, Achilles or Heart of Flesh, and also hip hop.
Hello. How you doing?
Hello there.
Hello, hello. All righty. So today was kind of going to be I kind of wanted it to be a little bit of a preview of the. I can hear you eating. You're very. It's really loud, bro. Um, I was gonna.
It's a good microphone. What can I do?
It's very good. Hit the mute button. There you go. That works. Yeah, I kind of wanted today to be kind of like a little pre-fight preview of the stream that we're going to be having, I believe, on Saturday. It's going to be on the 18th. Or no, I think it's on the 18th. Am I mistaken? Hello? You can unmute. Hello?
Now I'm checking, but I thought it's on the 18th as well.
And I don't know my days. I mean, who keeps track of that?
It's the 18th, but it got scheduled a little too late for me to be effective. It's like 4 a.m. my time. So to start a show at 4 a.m. is wow. It's awesome for me.
Yeah,
So-
it's gonna be an interesting one. We're gonna get Steven in here probably a little bit later, and we can discuss a little bit with him. So before we get into it, Achilles, he does have some videos he wants to present. I believe Hip Hop's got some videos he wants to show. Which Hip Hop, if you want to send a link to in the private chat to the video, Achilles might be able to go over it and see if there will be kind of any issue with copyright. If you want to send him a link in the private chat, he could chat. He could at least give you an opinion on it. You can unmute your mic and just say yes or no. It's all good.
I'm sorry. Look, I'll let the show flow, and I'll just flow with it. I'm not 100% sure what you're going to be talking about, so I'll just let the flow show. And if I need to put a little clip here, it'll be like 5 seconds, 10 seconds at the most for anything.
But do you have a fishy statement?
Do you have the thesis statements?
I like that. The feces statement. Yeah, no, I have no feces statement at all.
That's good. I
try
like
not
clean
to.
people.
I try not to
Yeah.
be involved with feces at all.
Who's that? No Canaanites, I believe. Was it the Canaanites?
Yeah. The closest I come to that is theses statements.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
With,
So
with a th, okay. I pronounce I'm going to instead of I'm finna go to.
finna go to. Let's let the flow show. Let's let the flow show, as you so eloquently put it.
I'm finna go to Miami, and
let's
then
let-
I'm finna go to Greece one day.
Let's let the fishy statement flow show. Around
Hey
here.
Oh
man,
no!
now I'm
That
feeling.
was a low blow.
I'm feeling-
That's a low blow.
I'm feeling a little attacked right now. I mean, dude, you grab a Snickers, okay? All right.
I stopped eating for now.
All righty, good. All right, let's see. Hopefully, you feel better. So anyway, before I do start, I kind of, in light of the recent peace accords that was.
Hey. No, this show is not about discussing about that at all.
No, I'm gonna set down some ground rules for this show and what I'm gonna accept on here. Okay. So what what's going to happen is I believe everybody's been unbanned. Brett Keane wants a link. We'll send out a link in a little bit, but let me go ahead and say this. And I got another announcement to make too after this. All right, so let me know if I miss anything, okay? But guys, look, this is a Christian channel, first and foremost, okay? You know, we like to keep things centered around biblical topics. We like to discuss scripture. We do have Bible studies. And sometimes we just kind of have like fun little shows like this where it's not going to be too serious. But there's some baseline rules that I think we should probably lay down. And this is going to be for when my show starts. And I think I'm going to drop this in. It's probably going to start a little bit sooner than we're thinking. But we'll see about that.
Dropping the link.
Okay. So first off, what we're going to go ahead and do is, guys, we're gonna be careful with our language, okay? We understand everybody's human. Sometimes things get passionate. People slip up. Sometimes people play video clips that haven't been fully vetted, and there may be some language in the clips. But overall, you know, this being a Christian channel, we want to try and keep it as clean as possible. You know, if I'm not going to make a huge deal if something slips, but you know, don't make it a habit. Don't make it a habit, because that will lead you to getting booted from the show. Okay. First and foremost. Second thing is attacking the hosts personally. Personal attacks. These are going to be like zero tolerance. These are like zero tolerance rules here. Okay. Do not make any personal attacks. Don't make any attacks about somebody's family. Don't insult the host. You can disagree with their thoughts. You can disagree with their theories. You can disagree with their opinions, but it should never come to a point where there should be any kind of low blows or personal attacks. If you're on the stage, and it's going to be, especially if you're on my show. One second. Yeah. So if you're on my show, and I'm pretty sure this is going to go for Steven's show, and I'm pretty sure this is for everybody's show. And please, they can add them to the stage in a sec. Okay. All right, dude. So anyway, yeah, personal attacks just aren't going to fly. You know, we're not going to take personal attacks, you know. Like I said, you can attack a person's arguments. You're not going to attack a person's character and try and defame them or attack them personally. And there was another one that I wanted to mention. And if you do get kicked off the show, you'll be allowed in the comments. However, if you can't control your comments, then you may get kicked out or be put in a timeout in the comment section as well. So, like I said, we want to just keep this fair. We want to keep it friendly, and just have a good time and talk about some arguments here. And if you guys have anything that you want to add, let me know.
Well, I've been out there for a while listening and all that, and so far you've been laying out the rules pretty good. I'm trying to figure out what exactly the topic's about at this point, and I was hoping that Stephen would be with us.
Stephen is going to be joining us in a few minutes. I just talked to him on the phone. He was on his way home. How are you doing, Brett?
I'm doing all right. I did a show myself yesterday, and Steven came in, hung out for a little bit, but he didn't even give me "I love you" and goodbye or anything like that. I was worried about him.
He
Oh,
never
he does
does.
that. He does that. We call it. He just pulled the Steven on you.
Oh, I hear you, man. But I'll tell you what, when you're going on for about 5 minutes and then you find out the person ain't even there listening anymore, it's kind of makes you feel funny inside.
Thank you. Please tell him. I'm like many times, even when we're backstage, I'm like, let me show you guys something. I open it up, and he leaves, and I
He
keep
did.
showing something to no one.
He
I'm
he
like,
did that to me. He did that to me while we were talking. I was like, "All right, dude, I'll talk to you later," and he just went click. I'm
he
like,
did he say talk to you later?
"No,
That's that.
I said
Oh,
I'll talk. I said I'll talk to you later," and he just hung up. So I don't know.
yeah,
Maybe.
that's okay. That's okay. Anyway, we all have our shortcomings. That's probably from Brett, right? Or hip hop. Oh,
No, hip hop is finding new buttons, I believe. I think he's finding new buttons, which is
nice.
good.
No,
We may
Mr.
need that.
Lupin,
Is
I
it
How are
was
still?
you doing?
Lupin and Heart of Flesh. I was telling Steven yesterday, and you guys might actually be interested in this, but there's a program out there that offers a lot more features than StreamYards, and it's free. It's really nice, and it has comment overlays where you can actually have it to where the comments are showing up on the video right
Mm-hmm.
as they're being typed. You guys might want to check it out.
What's the name?
It's called EV EVMUX.
EV Max. I will look it up right now.
And it's a broadcasting software. Like, how many people can you have on it?
You can have as many as you want, and one of the things that got Andrew excited was that you can add as many managers and admins as you want, and it don't
Hmm.
cost you a dime.
Interesting. I got the Black Friday deal for Restream, which was half off, but it's still pretty expensive. But I mean, 50% off ain't too bad. And I kind of like Restream, so whenever I do stuff like on my own personal channel alone, like I tend to use Restream. And some people have issues with it. I don't have too many issues with it. I have about the same amount of issues that I have with Restream than I do with this. So
I like
So,
Restream as well, and it's also got a chat overlay like I was talking about, but it does have one problem, and you would have probably discovered it if you get a bigger channel. What can happen is if people file in on you, they would be able to basically bug your private chat and basically knock the whole broadcast down. They can snipe it.
what do you mean, like Stream Snipe?
Yeah, they basically put a script into your private chat where it repeats and copies itself over and over until your stream lags out and shuts down.
Oh, but that's if you allow somebody into your actual onto the actual stage. It won't affect if they put in the regular comments, right?
Only if you bring somebody in or you put a public link out there. I was assumed that you do things like Steven where you put a public link out a lot.
yeah.
I wasn't planning to, and so Brett, let me fill you in here on this. And also, I hope I'm hoping everything is good with the situation. I don't want to get into too much detail um, about the situation. Just know that we're well, at least Hart and I are aware, and we hope that everything is going well.
Oh, you're talking about with my daughter?
Oh, yes,
Yes.
and I also asked that on the private chat if you didn't want to go
Oh
public.
no, it's fine. I've actually discussed it on my live show when I did a video. People have known for a long time my daughter's got serious health issues. She got 9 surgeries when she was a baby. She's 20 years old now. She ended up on New Year's morning. She ended up having a seizure. We had to take her to the doctor. They did surgery on her skull into her brain, and now she's at home recovering. She's doing good. She's not when I know that sounds horrible
She
to you and
she
everything, but she can talk and she's doing just fine. So
Operation
you,
success.
you said she had a surgery, a brain surgery.
Yeah, whenever she was born, unfortunately, which was 20 years ago, one of the nurses that came in didn't clean her hands properly, and she'd been working on other pregnant women. So what it did was it caused a condition called meningitis that resulted in something called hydrocephalus. So my daughter had to get a shunt that goes from her brain down into her guts to drain liquids from her head down into it. Well, my daughter was doing just fine, but then she's 20 years old and she started having issues and all that, and we had to rush her to the hospital. But she's good now. She's watching TV, hanging out, and she's hoping that she'll be able to go back to work in a month or so.
Well, I'd say don't rush it if you don't need to. But we've been praying. We've been praying for you, and we're glad to hear that went okay. Wow, it was more severe than I was expecting.
Yeah.
Oh, the issue is I'd keep her home forever if I could. The problem is that she loves all the women that she hangs out with and people at her job. She loves her job, so she wants to get back to it. She's a fighter.
I wish you the best, my brother. And how did the operation go overall? Like, was it a success? Was it liquid and you removed it?
Well, she had to get a completely new shunt in. They had to open her head and her stomach open in order to get this thing to go through there and then to her guts. Now, we assumed because whenever she was a baby, they kept her in the hospital for months in a children's hospital. So we expected this to be a long, straining, stressful proposition. But no, a couple days later, they said she should, after doing a bunch of scans and all that, they said she can go home. She'll be able to recover at home. So we were like, wow, really? Technology's really come far, folks.
Yeah, it has. Yes, it has. And I'm so happy to hear that. I hope the recovery is quick and she's back on her feet soon, brother.
You know what's amazing, Heart of Flesh, and I didn't point this out on my own show or in video, but had my daughter been born 5 years before that time, they didn't have the technology. Children usually who had that condition did not make it 5 years before she was born. So I feel like that's a miracle. I feel like just as my daughter's born in the world, the technology comes out.
Yeah. No.
I
Isn't that
agree 100%. I agree
isn't that a
100%.
miraculous coincidence?
And I'm happy to hear that your daughter's doing well, Brett.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm glad you guys, it's not a problem bringing this stuff up. My life is like an open book, Mr. Heart of Flesh. You can ask me about anything. Heck, if you want to know what color my socks are, I can tell you. I'm not really sure I'm wearing any. Oh, yeah, I am. Sure I am.
Me too. And I appreciate it with people when they are like that and they don't have fake personas and fake profiles, fake names, you know.
Beautiful. I'm glad that you said that because that brings up a third thing that I want to say. Achilles, technically this is like a co-host show or whatever, just kind of like whatever stream. But look, if we have a public link where people can join, if we do not recognize you, if we have never seen your name, we're gonna have to ask you in backstage, and this is gonna be a rule for my show whenever I start it, that you're gonna have to turn your webcam on, give us a thumbs up that you agree with what we're saying and that you can follow the rules, and that way we could at least have some verification, and that builds up some trust. I don't want to let just random people that I have no idea who they are on the stream. You never know what they're going to do or say. So that's going to be something I want to add. And the fourth thing I'm going to just add is we'll get into this whenever we get into this topic is to stay on the topic. Stay on the topic. Don't inhale that chip.
No.
Can I offer you guys a suggestion? Because I understand what it's like to have people come in to scream abruptly or do something totally ridiculous. There is something that you can do on StreamYards that'll help you. If you create your own iframe pattern, and make it to where all the other boxes are real tiny on the bottom, covered by a small banner or something, you could bring people up and not have to worry about them like throwing their ding dong out or something like that, because it'll be too small for them to be seen, but you can hear them and kick them quickly if they start getting rambunctious.
Well, luckily we don't. I mean, we don't
main-
have people like that, but I wouldn't doubt that they're out there. Go ahead.
Now, the main problem is a lot of people who come in and they pretend to be Christian. They even call Jesus Christ as a savior. And we allow them on the panel. And then 10 minutes later, they start saying that I accept Jesus Christ as a prophet. And he's the same thing like the Buddha. And we start getting derailed from the original subject, you know, and you cannot predict that. I mean, people will lie, you know. So
Yeah, I hear
anyway,
you. I get
we are
what I
getting,
get is what I get hard is I get atheists who like to come in and scream things like they want to rape my face, or they call me the N word as loud as they possibly can.
Come on. I mean, we don't got to get too much into detail, but I know that they do that. I've heard it before.
yeah.
So yeah, that's just kind of a rule of thumb that I think I'm just going to be following on my channel, like, or on my show. Just if I have never seen you and you can't turn on your camera just for a few seconds and just give me a thumbs up for a confirmation, then I'm really not gonna play around, because honestly, Achilles might be the only exception that I know that still has like a Caterpillar flip phone.
Yeah. And I'll stick to it.
And I know Achilles really well. So yeah. So for
Okay.
people
Since already there are people who want to join in, can we just play something and then allow stage stuff? Because I think I can already read people asking to get the link, even though the link is there. But want to play a video?
where do you see get the link?
In the YouTube channel, and I don't know what's up and why it will not appear here, but it's on YouTube. Mark is asking, and if you want, if he comes in, it's up to you. This is your show.
So, what was you guys' topic before I managed to make my way in?
Before you came in like a wrecking ball, go ahead.
We have a debate coming up in a couple of days about creation or evolution, and Kent Hovin will probably join us. Dan from Standing for Truth as well. This is going to be a big one. And we just wanted to have a stream with talking a little about how apparent the truth is. And we have like a couple of videos to showcase. And just to prepare some atheists out there, to know their stuff.
And to prepare us Christians too, because I want to see whenever Steven comes in. I want to see how this format's going to play out. If it's going to be like a battle royale kind of thing where they just I don't know. We're going to have to wait till Steven gets here, which he'll be here hopefully soon.
Well, Kent Hovind usually likes it whenever he's got a moderator that keeps control over the conversation and people are timed. He doesn't like it whenever somebody's jumping all over the board. So just friendly advice. Either you should have Standing for Truth or Andrew moderate that, because I know they both could handle that.
Yeah, I'll talk to Steven when he does that, and we can either talk about it here, or we could talk about it in private. However he feels he wants to do it. But yeah, we kind of just want. I kind of just wanted to kind of just like warm up. Like I know my friend Achilles here. He is tired of talking about evolution, but I mean, it seems to be like the hot topic of the day. It'd be much more interesting to talk about simulation theory, but maybe we can get into that later.
Well, I think the it's a dead horse already, and it,
Absolutely.
it's not right. It's not ethical to keep kicking it. There are other subjects. I mentioned the alien deception that they are about to unravel for us, and they started it on the first of the year because it would happen in 2024. And not only doesn't anyone want to know why 2024, what does that mean, and why nobody cares. They are saying that this is science fiction, and here we go back talking about whether we come from monkeys or not, which is being refuted by every scientific side you want to touch it. And I just feel like a little bit of a kindergarten. Like,
I'm sorry. Here, maybe this will help you.
but yeah, we can go on. And hello, brother Steven. We can go on and keep beating the dead horse of
Let's
evolution.
let's
Do
keep.
my eyes fail me, or is Brett Keen in the house?
Yeah, I was just complaining that you were in my show yesterday, and I'm talking to you, and I was carrying on a real good conversation with you, and then I looked down, I'm like, you ain't even here. What the hell?
Sorry, Brett. I have extreme ADD.
Oh, it's all good, man. It's all good. I was
I
happy
told
to have
him.
you over. You're always welcome. You know
I
that.
told him you pulled a Steven on him.
I did go out of my way to go say hi though, because I was so excited to see that you were doing streams again. And unfortunately, Brett, with my work schedule, you and TTOR do your streams way too late for me because they're always on a work night.
Well, Steven, like I tell TTR does that. Me personally, I like to do things at an earlier time. If you want to do something or you're doing a show, just send me over a link. Unfortunately, I'm subscribed to so many people. Sometimes I'm not able to see whenever somebody's doing something. So either do that or just let me know when you'd like to stream
Hey.
along with me, and we can do that.
What are you doing Thursday, Brett?
Well, Thursday, TTR said he wanted to do something over on Rumble, but I'm not really feeling Rumble hardly anymore. It doesn't seem like anything's happening over there.
There's no traction over there yet. It's
There's
almost
no love.
dead on arrival.
Exactly.
It's
So what's
got
your
weird
plan?
configures too, and you got to like reprint your key to make it go live. I hate it. But Thursday night, this Thursday, we're having our atheist showdown. We're going to start doing it once a week, and Kent Hovind will be there for about an hour. After that, he'll be heading off, and Donnie from Standing for Truth and Matt Man and possibly Praise I Am will be coming by.
Well, Steven, it sounds like you're inviting me to what sounds like it's going to be a very successful stream, but I don't know if I know Kent is he's very forgiving and doesn't really care who's in a room, but I don't know if Standing for Truth would be too appreciative of me being in the presence.
I didn't know you guys had history.
We don't, but you know how it is. If some people get into it on the internet thing, suddenly everybody else don't like you either.
Well, yeah, fair. Well, Brett, you are my guest and a friend of mine, so I would be happy to have you then.
Well, I appreciate that. I do, but I don't want to cause any kind of wedge for these guys, especially if they're getting into the middle of an evolution debate or whatever. I'll think about it though, Steven, because I do enjoy hanging out with you.
Trust me, man. If anybody needed reason to hate Stephen Bolin, they wouldn't have to dig too hard. Okay, so and I'm not out to make friends. We're just trying to share the gospel, and you have a knack for attracting atheists, and they happen to need the gospel more than anyone.
Oh, I hear you, but I get the worst of the crowd, though. The kind that aren't very capable of having a good conversation. That's the problem.
You do seem to really get the worst ones, Brett. I don't know what it is you attract them, dude.
I'm a poop magnet is what it is.
Yeah. So, Steven, regarding that show, we were just talking about it. How's this format gonna be? Are you guys all gonna be broadcasting simultaneously? Like, how's it working? Or do you want to talk about it backstage? And you're muted.
Oh, he pulled Steven on you.
No, he'll come back. Let me see.
I did come back. I had to step away for half a second.
Did you hear my question?
Yeah, but the thing is, Lupin, is you're not really my type, because you're a guy.
Thank God. Thank God.
I'm not your first choice either. What was your question, Lupin?
Oh man. I'm so glad I woke up today breathing. No, my question was and Steven wasn't there either. There is a God. You atheists, you guys want a miracle. There's one right there. Steven's not waking up next to you. So be glad about that.
Is this where you want to be when Jesus gets back? You want to be picking on poor Steven?
He'd say, "Good job, son." No, I'm just playing. But poor Steven.
Well done, that good and faithful Lupin. Plus, it's all your fault.
Yeah, it's always my fault.
Man, no, I'm not going to go there. That's not an appropriate joke. But I was going to say, on Judgment Day, I'm going to try to push all the blame on you. Be like, Lupin's fault. And see how far that gets me.
Oh, man, something tells me you're not even lying. But anyway.
No, I'm totally lying. You think I'm going to have the guts to look my creator in the eyes and then lie and blame you? I'm lucky if I can just keep my urine in my body and off my pants and stand up on my feet. You know what I mean?
Be not afraid.
Well, the reason they have to tell you that every time you see them is because they're terrifying.
Yeah. Amen. So my question was, how is that going to play out? Are you three going to be like simultaneously casting like at the same time? Like, how is this working? And if you want to talk about it backstage, we're talking about it backstage too.
No, that's fine. So Donnie wants to come on after Ken. Ken's going to come on right after his show for about an hour and a half. After that, it's going to start the late show. And the late show is going to have Donnie and Mattman. And I'm hoping to get a hold of Praise, but I'm having trouble getting a hold of him.
Okay. And I'll talk a little bit to you in private there for some things. But okay. All right. Gotcha.
It's open to anyone. It's an actual open panel. Everybody is off the ban list except like 3 different people. And those 3 are just not negotiable. So sorry, but not sorry. But everybody else, like our normal suspects, are all off the ban list. From your Big Bad Mama to your Claudes to Aiden, like all of them are banned or unbanned rather.
Okay.
Do you already have the video set up in which this is all going to happen?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why I asked that is if you want me to, I can stream it to several different websites and through the radio if you want, if you think it's going to be one of those type of deals.
I'm hoping it'll be big. So Brett, you're more than welcome to be there, and also more than welcome to stream it to all of your platforms.
You'd have to give me a link ahead of time so I can get in there and click the button and set it all up.
I'm going to send you the link for it now. And I'll send you, and I'll send you the private chat.
All right. Let me see what we got here.
Steven, are we allowing Mark in? Yes or no? Yep.
Yeah. Mark and I are honoring our good faith agreement. And as of now, I have nothing against Mark. Right, Mark?
Amen.
Yeah, that's what we said last night. How's it going, Brett?
Oh, hey, how you doing? Steven, I gotta have the link that actually goes into the interface so I can click the
I'm
button.
getting that for you right now.
All right.
I know, rookie mistake.
So, let's see here. So, I was talking about staying on topic. By the way, Steven, I think I don't know if I should drop this on you now, but I think we probably should do this. I'm thinking about having
Oh my
show
gosh!
on.
What
Yeah,
now?
and we're starting on Wednesday. See Now and Know season
That's
2,
good.
episode 1 is on Wednesday.
That's good news. Why would you present it like it was going to be bad news?
Wednesday, you mean tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm psyched. I'm ready to get you back on the road, brother. We got
Good
souls
thing
to
we
win.
have. Good thing we have a background ready.
Oh dang, it's tomorrow. All right, next Wednesday. No, I'm just playing. We can do tomorrow. Tomorrow at 3 p.m.
Achilles, why do you sound so sad, brother?
Not. I'm just tired. I was tired 2 days ago, and now I'm what they call overtired. You know, you stepped over the threshold of being tired.
Yeah, we call it delirious. Also, we call it parenting.
Ah, good point. Good
Yeah.
point.
Sometimes.
Okay, so you're absolutely sure Mr. Hovind and Donnie's going to that one that you gave me that link.
That is 100% the link for the show that Kent Hovind and Donnie will be on.
All right, so it's going to have a different title on the streams. It's going to have you guys' names and all that because it's important to put out there so people know what they're going to watch. All right.
All righty. I'm okay with that, Brett. You know how to tag. Actually, I was going to reach out to you the other day because I wanted some assistance from you on making some really good overlays, really clean, professional, shiny overlays. And you're the man with that plan.
All right. Well, we can sit back and talk about it later if you want to, unless you want to do it right here. I'm not sure everybody else would be fully excited about that, but
No,
sure.
everybody's fine with it. I'm kidding. We can do it later. We'll work that out.
All right. Just let me know whenever a good time is. You want to do that, and we'll work something out. It's not enough to say shiny. I might make it look like a Christmas tree. I don't know if you're into that right now.
Well, kind of like how you did your letters with the God TV radio.
Oh, with the animations and all that?
Well, I don't know, man. Like mine, I can't get that 3D effect that I'm looking for on it. Like, see, this is a bad example because I already got rid of all my overlays. So yeah, I can't really show you right now, Brett.
Blaster Master, I'm pretty sure he's cool. I think I've seen him on Kent Hovind's chat.
All
I've
right.
been on your chat. I've been on here before with you.
And maybe my chat. But
Yeah, I've been on your channel. Remember? It was like a year ago or so, maybe.
It's been a while. I want to say good memories.
It's all
good.
Yeah,
good
it was fine. Yeah, we had a good exchange. I'm friendly.
Okay, all right. That's man. A lot. Hey, I've seen a lot of faces online, and I don't know. It's just like I only have a photogenic memory for certain things. Like, but it's very weird. But I want to say we had a good conversation.
Yeah, I think it was fine. I mean, I don't remember the whole thing either because it was a while back. But I remember not being like frustrated or anything, so that's good, right?
Are you on the atheist side or the believer side?
I am a non-believer.
Okay.
Obviously
not militant.
Earlier I was listening to you guys talking about like people trying to ruin other people's live streams and stuff, and it's ironic that you have Brett on here. I think because he's actually done that. He did it last year.
I mean,
he went onto someone's channel and was playing porn on it to try and get them banned.
I have a history with Brett having some shenanigans with me too, but truthfully, I think a lot of people have done things that they're probably not proud of. I know certainly recently I've done some very immature things that was
I just thought it was kind of ironic.
Yeah.
Well, if you remember, Stephen, I showed you how to actually clean things up and put things in really quick. So I thought you were going to go, that's funny, and then just fix it in a matter of 5 seconds. like I showed you. As far as the other person was talking pretty nasty about my family members. So yeah, I did something with TJ Kirk, the Amazing Atheist, on the screen, but that was a little bit longer than a year ago. I think it was a few years
I
ago.
think you did it to Mrs. Parker.
Yeah, and I'd be honest with you, don't really care.
Hey, guys,
you don't care. I know you don't.
let me
Well, I mean,
let me take a little control here real quick. I mean, I really don't feel like hashing. This isn't the time to hash this part out. Honestly, we're trying to do the Christian thing, and you know, a big tenet with Christianity. One of the biggest tenets of Christianity is forgiveness. So, Stephen has some history. I'm aware of some of Brett's history. I'm willing to look past that right now, but I really don't think we should be rehashing the drama. You know, I don't think it's a good time to do that.
Probably not helpful, right?
Yeah, I haven't even thought about that other stuff he's talking about in such a long time. So it's obvious what he's in here for.
So let's all start. We're kind of like starting off with a clean slate. Okay, let's pretend like we just all started new YouTube channels. Can we do that? Like we new YouTube channels, we don't have any history. Can we do that from this point on?
Sure.
Everybody's cool with that?
It's your show.
I'll just say this. I don't look at any of you guys in the flesh. So I don't. I'm glad that nobody here has attacked me or anything like that. If they have, I haven't heard it, and I really haven't paid too much attention to it. Basically, I see you as my brethren in Christ, if that's what you are, and that's what you portray yourself to be. And I will treat you in that way the rest of my life and the rest of the time that I know you. If there's some kind of discord between us, I will do it as the word tells me. I will handle it the way the word tells me to handle it. Other than that, I come on this stream and I come on these channels and I discuss this because I see that God's spirit is moving through these mediums to reach other people and to bring them into the kingdom of Christ and to bring them into a new life, into a new covenant and salvation. So that's what I'm here for, and I hope that that's the way that you guys see things as well.
Amen.
Hey, I wanted to bring something up, and I don't want to overstep my bounds because I'm here for the first time in a long time. Brett's here for the first time in a long time. I don't think I've been introduced to the gentleman at the bottom of the chat, but I hear you say things like forgiveness, and that's wonderful. But Brett, you said you don't care, and this guy has a concern about that. I mean, I think you should be a little more sincere than that. I mean,
No,
and like I said, I'm not trying to stomp all over you and try and put you on the spot, but
I don't care what you think. I really don't.
Look, man, I'm really trying to be mature about this, Brett. I really am. I want to have these conversations where we can discuss.
All right, Steven, I'm out. I'm not going to listen to this.
I'm going to go ahead and mute both of y'all real quick.
I wish you'd stick around a little bit, Brett.
Because this is just not the time or place to do this.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful, and I really wasn't trying to pull one over on Brett or anybody here, but that's really insincere and disingenuous to just say I don't care and then just move on. I'm sorry if that's out of line, out of place, but I mean, you got to care. I mean, if you want to be part of a community that claims to care about stuff, you got to show some level of care. And oh my goodness, I'm so sorry if I ran him away. That was not my intention. I wanted to have, some discussions with Brett. I really did. I don't know if he's aware of what happened last night, but I think we're making good faith efforts here. And that's genuinely what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to run anybody off.
Well, I don't know.
Is that you, Mark Stoney?
Wait a minute. Yeah. What I saw was immediately attacking someone instead of focusing on what the stream is about from two. And here goes one member. So I don't know if what you just said is a truthful statement.
Well, you know what? look, we're not gonna have the drama on this channel, so
Right.
we're gonna basically move along right now with it.
That's fine with
And
me.
If
Yeah.
okay,
If you don't mind, let's just leave all of this history in the past. Okay. We
Well,
can't
yeah,
do
but that
anything
wasn't
about it.
history. That was right then and there,
it's okay.
and I felt like it was very disrespectful.
Well, it's, we could discuss it later. Look, I don't
Sure.
know the history.
Like I
but
said, I can
I
move
can
on.
talk to you
I can move
about
on.
it if you want.
We also, and this is for everybody, we all need to get a little bit better about trying to first bring something to someone's attention in private. There's been so little of that here in the YouTube world lately, with all parties involved. Like, we need to start respecting that a little more.
Well,
Well,
I agree.
I don't know if
I
Blaster
think
Master
Lupin-
and Brett Keane have private communications, do they?
They have access to private chat though here, so if they want to talk, they could at least say, "Hey, I want
He's
to
had
talk
me
about
blocked
this."
for like 12 years, so probably not.
Oh, so private chat in StreamYard. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, yes, yeah, they could talk in private chat to bring it up at least first to see if it's okay with us. I mean, first off, respect the hosts of the show. I mean, that's number one. And I'm gonna be fair, and I'm gonna let you guys talk, but I want to get back on
Hey,
topic.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to derail your show, Lupin. Sorry about that.
It's okay. It's all right. That's fine. So anyway, I just kind of want to talk about this topic a little bit: dismantling evolution and defending creation. Blaster, are you an evolutionist per se, or I know you said you're an atheist?
I mean, do I accept that evolution is a thing? Yeah, because I've studied it enough to know that it exists. Sorry, my dog's crying. She just had her leg amputated this week. It's kind of been rough. She's crying in the background a little bit. If you hear a dog crying, that's why. She has to wear the cone of silence, and she's not happy about that.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man.
We're sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, it's okay. Thanks, I appreciate that.
Well,
What's wrong? Because I didn't hear it. What's wrong with her?
She had to have her leg amputated.
Oh, how old is she?
She's like 12, 13.
Oh, that's pretty tough for an old dog.
Yeah, she's still like, she's been athletic her whole life, so she's in pretty good shape still, you know? She hasn't, like, I don't think she's deteriorating mentally or anything yet. That's why we decided to just go ahead and amputate rather than euthanize her.
Well, as I have 5 dogs, and one of them is a 3-legged dog, and I can hear her crying in the background. Do me a favor, be with her, pet her, keep petting her. They do have a lot of emotional world going on inside them, and we don't appreciate it much. By doing things that we find normal, all they want is us next to them. So, yeah. She's not that smart.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. She just wants attention. She just wants her belly rubbed mostly.
Yeah,
She's
be with her.
Give me my belly
Pet her.
rubs.
Pet her.
Yeah, my dog's keeping my toes warm right now. That's her favorite thing to do.
That's I mean, is it? Personally, I mean, besides everyone just having a bad day or something bad happening to them, stream's going great. I love it. I mean,
I feel like I need a dog. I feel like I need a dog right now.
Everyone needs a dog, man. Dogs are great. Like this dog is my favorite. Like she's been the best dog I've ever had. You know, I love her to death.
Best I could do is monkey.
That is a monkey.
Best I could do is monkey. Sorry.
A monkey.
Yeah. So let me kind of get a little bit back on topic here, really quick here. So I don't want to get too much into it because, like we said, there's going to be a stream that's going to be coming on, so I don't want to get too into it. But as a creationist, I don't see a way that evolution they just don't mix to me. And I have some scripture to pulled up, and I've said it many times before, and I'll say it again.
Can I say something here real quick, Lupin?
Go ahead.
Before you jump into that, you know, I saw the theme title, the title of the show, and I was thinking, you know, how about if you made that into creationism versus the people that try to see the universe as something that was spontaneous, random, and non-theistic. There was no creation, no creator involved. Would that be too much to ask?
Okay, so we could definitely change the topic here, and then let's kind of stay on that one topic. If we want to do that, that's fine.
Because it'll to some degree it'll include evolution on the one side, okay, the non-theistic creation. How about if you call it, because I mean, to me, since you have that show coming with Ken, he's going to be talking about evolution and that stuff more than we can do it, than we can talk. But how about how about we pre-stage the show, or we I don't know what to call it, the
I
show,
can't.
preempt the show by discussing creationism and all its versions, and non-theistic uh, universal appearance. I can't call
Okay,
it creation.
so theistic creation versus non-theistic creation,
Or
or
non-theistic universe appearance. I don't. You can't call it creation because
because there's no
creation implies a
creator,
creator, right?
right?
So how about that? If you want to try that, I'd love to discuss that.
Okay, you know what? I'll take a vote. We could do a panel vote. I can't change the title of the stream
It's
now, but
no,
we're
no, no. It's
starting.
up to you. It's up to you. It's your show. I was just putting in a suggestion.
Well, now it's our show, and now that we have somebody who's an atheist, that sounds like a good topic to me, and I'm fine to discuss that. But you guys want to talk about? You guys okay with talking like that or talking about that?
I don't know, man. Anything, anything that rolls, I'll flow with it. I'm fine.
Wait, you don't have a topic? All right, so the topic is preterism, and it's Stony v. Lupin.
Is that right? Okay.
I mean, I'm down to moderate if you guys want to have like a little friendly round in the ring.
I mean, I don't necessarily feel like talking about preterism, but if you want to talk, I mean, I'm down to talk about whatever. I'll discuss.
All
Discuss
right.
preterism.
Let's drop the debate part. Mark, we're gonna give you the floor, and we're gonna honest to God hear you out. Are you prepared?
Well, yeah, I can definitely talk about it.
Okay.
I don't have like a presentation or anything.
It's going to
my-
be very little challenge. We just basically want to find out where you're at.
Sure.
What's
So,
preterism?
Preterism, well, everybody in this room that's a believer is a preterist to a degree. To be a preterist is just to believe that there's a prophecy that was made and at some point it was fulfilled in the past. It's literally past fulfillment. Now, in the general sense of preterism as a theological position, it does hinge more around the events of 70 AD, what happened in the first century. Some of my basis for believing in a lot of first century fulfillment, well, first and foremost, Jesus said, I didn't come to destroy the law, but to fulfill the law and the prophets. So we understand and agree that Jesus fulfilled the law. So there's another part of that, and he also said he fulfilled the prophets. So I think we should look in history for these fulfillments, much in the same way we would look through Scripture in the Old Testament to see the fulfillments of prophecies we already agree have been fulfilled, because the canon of Scripture ended. I believe Revelation was penned in probably the early or late spring of 68 AD, just shortly before the death of Nero, which led Rome into a year of 4 emperors, where there was chaos in the empire, and basically the power of Rome was left impotent to control its prodigies, its little client kingdoms in the vast expanse of the Roman Empire. So I see a lot of chaos and turmoil in this time, and I think it's relevant to a lot of the things that Jesus was talking about. You know, he said, "This generation shall not pass," over and over to multiple different audiences. And we really have to understand when we're reading this text that, Jesus isn't talking to me here in 2024. He was talking to his disciples back in the first century. He was talking to, the scribes and Pharisees in the temple, especially in Matthew 23, which is a very specific indicator of when Jesus was talking directly to specific people, the scribes and the Pharisees, and he even said, "The blood shall be on this generation." So there's another significant time marker. But as far as looking at the history and how to line up some of the events of history, we look in Revelation 17:10, and I'm going to have to pull that up real quick.
I got it. Blaster, do you want to? I mean, you know what, Steven, you brought it up, so you might actually be doing the debate. I kind of liked where hip hop was going, and now you got Mark kind of going. And then also, Hart had some videos he wanted to play. So,
well, I can wrap this up and tie it up in a bow real quick if you let me.
Go ahead, Mark.
I could also go all day, so
Yeah,
I'll try to wrap it up in a bow real quick. But here
Let
in
him wrap it up.
Revelation,
Wait. Before you go, Mark,
Sure.
this word preterism is a fairly new word to me. I think I've heard it once or twice before. Again, tell me the definition of preterism.
Can I
So-
give him the layman terms and then you can
Yeah,
redefine it?
the layman terms essentially means that and this is what we would define as preterism as an eschatological position, because we're talking in the context of end time stuff. Preterism would say that a lot of the fulfillments of the things like the second coming were fulfilled in the first century in a very symbolic way. And the biggest difference we have with the more mainstream positions is just the timing and the nature of these prophecies and how they're fulfilled. Preterism is a very academic approach to the scripture, because you do have to take into consideration a lot of historical context, because we're dealing with prophecies that are talking about spiritual things that have ramifications in the natural world. So naturally we're going to look to the natural world to see what those ramifications would have entailed. And I think we can all agree that the destruction of the second temple, Herod's temple, in 70 AD by Titus's armies was a pretty significant historical event. The power of
It was a prophecy. It was Jesus prophesied it. So
Absolutely.
I think I agree with what I think I understand what you mean by it. It's basically
And even within preterism, there's different schools of thought. You can think of it as like a spectrum. Like from the very first part of the spectrum, you've got people that believe in like the Old Testament prophecies that were written and fulfilled in the Old Testament, and then you've got the fulfillment of Jesus. That would be like preterism light, believing in the messianic prophecies. But then you've got dealing with the end time prophecies. What you have are partial preterists, full preterists, and hyper preterists. I fall somewhere between a partial preterist and a full preterist. I do not hold that there's no scripture relevant to today, but I do believe that a lot of the timing and nature of the second coming are really extrapolated to apply to modern times, when I don't see the evidence from scripture, to suggest that. And I was going to mention on Revelation 17:10.
You know what? I agree.
Yeah, go ahead.
I agree. I agree with what you're saying. I have a similar belief as you. Yes, a lot of the prophecies in the Old Testament, in the New Testament, have been fulfilled already throughout the times, and then there's some that that need to be fulfilled. The thing about prophecy is that prophecy can only be credited as true prophecy when the fulfillment appears. Okay, when Jesus prophesied that he was going to destroy, that the temple was going to be destroyed and he was going to rebuild it in 3 days, he was, in my view, prophesying and explaining what he was going to do in the new covenant. He was prophesying that the Romans would destroy the temple in 70 AD, as you said, and that he would be rebuilding the temple because the temple is the church. The temple is the church that was formed all the way up to now. Now, there are additional prophecies that have been stated in the word and that need to be fulfilled. But I understand now what preterism is. Now, can I please hear the layman short? Because, I'm kind of like you. I talk a lot. And I don't mean that in an offensive way, okay? But I like the way Stephen shortens things up and condenses it into a very layman, Floridian statement. Can you go ahead and say what preterism is, Stephen?
Well, I will say this. If I do have it pulled up on the screen, the definition, and I'll let you guys go ahead and continue the conversation. But honestly, I want to dedicate a whole show to preterism on its own, and I think we can do that. But you can, I think we could maybe wrap up the statements in a bow, and then we could set up a whole discussion about that.
Sure, I'd be open to that.
So, all right, go ahead, Stephen.
Stephen, you were given the floor by
One
the
moment, fellas. I'm on the phone with a friend of mine.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll give what is it? Preterism is a Christian eschatological view that interprets some partial, or there's two different types: partial preterism and full preterism. Mark, you think you said you fall in between those?
Yes.
Okay, interesting. So prophecies of the Bible as events that have already been fulfilled in history. The school of thought interprets the book of Daniel as referring to events that happened from the 7th century BC until the 1st century AD.
I fully agree with that. For example.
Okay. Should I continue, or does anyone want to take the floor on this?
I understand what the definition you have pulled up is. I just wanted to kind of hear it from Stephen in that short Floridian Southern quickness that he's so good at. Because I admit I am not capable of doing that. So I just wanted to hear it. But as far as understanding what you're saying, yes, I get it now. I got it.
And Steven said he was on the phone. I don't know if he's still on the phone. So
let me ask you a question. Mark, would I be wrong in considering you a Christian?
No, I'm a Christian for sure.
Okay, amen. Okay, that's all I need to know. Yeah, I find that in Christianity there is a lot of different there's a lot of different levels of understanding, a lot of different levels of growth, a lot of different levels of interpretation and that's just on the spiritual side of things. You throw in the physical traits and characters of us, like for example the way Achilles is, the way Lupin is, the way I am, the way you are, the way everybody else is, and you're going to find that there is a plethora of ideas and interpretations of the word. In my view, I think that all is getting ready to get funneled down into a very clear understanding of the truth, because that is what I see as the true end times prophecy and goal. And I'll leave it there if you guys want to jump in on that.
Uh, well, like I said, I want to have a full episode. I want to have a full episode on this. So, I kind of want to table this one. To be honest, that way we can get really good, like in detail. But it'd be good to have a future warning because I know Mark has a lot of information, and
Lupin, I'm just a innocent bystander on
right,
this show.
I got you.
So
Yeah, no, and no, I don't want to like be accused of running away from the situation. I really want to, I really want to have this conversation, with, especially with you, Mark. I do have to kind of prepare a little bit because there's going to be a lot of information thrown, and I'm pretty sure there'll be other Christians that want to hear this as well. So I think it would be a great conversation to for a full episode. And
that's up to you.
Steven ain't on the phone, bro. He just don't know what's going on.
Oh, he's talking to Brett.
Oh, is that what's going on?
I don't know. I really hope that Steven can convey what went down last night and have Brett kind of on board with it, but I don't know how that's going to go down.
Well, Brett
but,
wasn't.
I mean,
Brett wasn't part of that conversation.
I will say this, Mark. I remember what went down last night, okay, and or the last couple of episodes or whatever, and it's all been about leaving a bunch of the past in the past and moving forward with unity and without carrying leaving that baggage in the past. Now you brought it up. You did bring it up. You did bring in the baggage of the past.
How did I do that? Honestly, he's the one that said to
what he had done. But mentioning what he had done.
That wasn't me.
Oh, whoever that was,
That was our guest Blaster Master.
And he wasn't even in the conversation, so he doesn't even know what we're talking about as far as this goes. And neither does Brett. Brett wasn't in the conversation either. So
look,
I just thought it was insensitive to just say I don't care.
Maybe it was.
It's one thing to want to have reconciliation. It's another to just not have any interest in it at all. And I just felt like that was a little bit of a. I don't know. I don't want to comment too much on it because it's not my place.
Yeah. Let's table it.
I get you.
People are like, "Oh, that's a psyop."
Whoops. Hold on.
I get it. I'm kind of like the same way he is. Once I've tabled something, once I put something in the past, really a lot of the times I really don't care to bring it back up. But so I get what he's saying, and I think that's what he was trying to say. It may sound a little insensitive to some. I get that too, but again, I want to re-emphasize that the goal of this panel is, from what Lupin said, I'm just going to summarize what Lupin said, and because I interact with these guys a lot. Now, the goal of this panel is to, bring the gospel to others, number one. Number two, to minister to each other through the discussion of the gospel and let each other a lot of the times we don't know when something that we say can help someone, and basically that's what this panel in my view tries to do. Okay, and because of the way the internet works and because of the way these panels work, there sometimes people do hurt each other with verbally, and I think Stephen was trying as a Christian, and I certainly agree with him on this, that he was trying as a Christian to let all that baggage go in the past, leave it in the past, and move forward to 2024 and to the coming of Christ and to the achievement of the goals of the panel. So I just wanted to throw that out there because I'm kind of like life coach in that sense. I try to see people through some type of discord into a better place so that we can move forward in a positive way.
Right. And I think we kind of should we should move forward because we're bringing in people that weren't even a part of the conversation. I haven't seen Blaster Master in about maybe a year. Uh, and I haven't seen Brett in months probably, and they probably have no idea. I don't know if they watched the show last night. So having them in the panel and even involving them is kind of doing them a disservice, and we're trying to just move away from that drama here. So I kind of want to bring up a little bit of a neutral topic.
Well, go right ahead, Lupin.
All right, so let's go ahead and move it on. Achilles, you have some videos that you had queued up. Can you mind if we play them?
Nope.
All right, cool. Then they're on topic.
You see fossils. Why are you so down?
What's that?
Achilles is so sad today, man.
I mean,
Well,
he's overwhelmed.
I don't
think.
know.
He's tired.
This
He's not
started,
sad. He's
with the-
tired.
It's making me
He
sad.
started with the title, and we're 1 hour and 16 minutes in, and we're still trying for it. But
Hey, I tried to engage in a new topic. I really did.
Yeah, and we're gonna
But
get
hey,
we're gonna get into it.
before you guys get into this video, I'm gonna step out. I appreciate you letting me come on. I'm sorry if I caused that conflict or whatever. I didn't. That wasn't my intention.
No.
I did feel like that was very rude to just say I don't care. And like I get the
appreciate you
context.
standing up for me a little bit there. That was nice of you.
I appreciate that. But, you know, neither of y'all are in the context of what has been going down between a few of these communities as of very recently. So I think we can give it a pass. And, Stephen, I hope you can extend to Brett my sincerest apology if I offended him.
I will pass that on, Mark. And
right.
Thanks for coming by, and thanks for being cool.
Appreciate it. Y'all take care.
Take care.
Goodbye, Mark. Okay, all right. So then we're gonna start getting into dismantling evolution and defending creation. Okay, because that's the title of the stream. We're gonna get into it. Achilles has some videos. We're gonna play them because he thinks I don't read the comments, but I pay close attention to the comments, and I know it. And he brought this up, and he's right. We're about an hour and 20 minutes in. Let's just go ahead and dive into this video real quick, see what it's about. And it's nice that we have an atheist that is, for all intents and purposes, very pleasant to talk to. I enjoy talking to Blaster. So let's go ahead and let's play this. And if you guys need it to be paused anywhere or you want to discuss something, let me know, okay?
Everywhere. When you study geology and paleontology, you see fossils every.
Really quick, is it very loud for you guys or is it okay?
I can adjust my headset volume here.
Right, but for the
it is a little loud.
Because the viewers, I don't want them to get like shocked if they're like listening to this in their car or got some headphones on.
The viewers are gonna think it's
loud. All right, then I lowered it.
I'm messing with you.
You see fossils everywhere in the whole world, in the whole globe. You see fossil, and you see in the top of the mountains, and you see really deep in the sea. It confirms what the Bible says, that it was a global flood and not a local flood. Okay, so how am I going to apply what happened?
Also, I think we'll be okay with copyright, but somebody keep an eye out. Make sure that we don't get a disconnect. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's okay, and I'm gonna move a little bit forward because she starts with the Pangea theory, which I don't actually agree with. So I'm just gonna move it, Yeah.
Schedule that for another day, Pangea. We can tackle that one too. That one's an interesting one.
Those layers of the fossils that we're gonna
Wait a
find
minute.
with the
Can you tell us who's speaking? Like, can you give us a little introduction to who's
It's
speaking?
the woman. It's the woman on the top right. This is from a YouTube channel called Agape, which means love.
Yes.
Kingdom Fellowship. She has a PhD in biology, and I hope you enjoy her.
Okay, very good. All right, let's go.
Can I just make one correction?
that happened.
It's a small correction. I don't mean to be a pet peeve. It's Agape. If you don't mind.
If you wanna sound like a Greek, say it Agape.
Agape.
Not Arapi.
No
Arapi is the N word. Just so
Are you
know.
sure we're not saying the same thing?
Listen.
Agape.
Arapi.
Agape.
Agape.
Agape. You got to go down.
I can't say that. It sounds like
deep in your throat.
Alcrape.
Yeah.
The
That
difference
sounds.
is love to the N word. So you better not mistake those two. Agape.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why do you guys even have a word for that?
There are words for it.
Busted.
But we're not using it.
America. Oh yeah, you just have a whole word you don't use. That's how language works.
Oh boy!
All right. Yep.
Now we're gonna get called all sorts of names. What is going on here? Okay, so we're gonna go over this. It's not about Pangea. I guess we're gonna go into it looks like we're going into the theologic column.
Yeah.
And Achilles, mucho agape.
That the Bible talks about. So again, we have the Hodinia. Is the proposed pre-flood supercontinent. It's the big continent that God created. And you're going to have that in the area, the Precambrian. So when you have the flood, you can see in the picture there, waters of the deep come forth, global flood begins. So now you have the Paleozoic and then the Mesozoic. And then when the waters recede, the flood ends. The global flood ends, all the water recedes. Now you have the Cenozoic, and then you have the Ice Age, that it's one of the consequences of the flood. So this is how we can understand, and that's how we can see what happened during the flood with the things that we have today. So how long was the flood? How long ago was the flood? So the flood happened around 1656 years after Adam was created. So let's say 2,000 years. So if we have when we have 6,000 years as we have now, we have 4,000. So the flood happened 4,000 years ago, around 4,000 years ago. So that's one of the points. That's why we have fossils so well preserved. They still so preserved. And that's one thing that I just would like to mention with you. When I was studying during my master's at the American Museum of Natural History here in New York, United States in New York, I had one of the fossils that I was studying. I studied wasp and bees, and then one of the lady that worked in the museum, she saw the wasp and she was like, "Wow, it's so well preserved." I don't know how it got so well preserved for so many years. 120 million years, the fossils are dated through evolutionary ideas. And then I told her, I said, well, maybe it was not that long. Of course, I couldn't really go through a lot of things because I would get kicked out of the museum. So people that study fossils, when we see the preserved material there, we can understand that the flood, those are the result of the flood. So here, just for you to have an idea of all the details that the book of Genesis brings about the flood. There are three chapters with all that information. The days, the month, what happened, it's a lot of details for you to just think that it's not global or it's local or it's calm or there's some ideas that it's also saying, well, the Bible's not even talking about the flood. The Bible's talking about something else, but it's not a flood.
Okay.
So
Can
I'm
you
gonna
pause
pause.
that a moment?
Yeah,
Yes.
I was
Thank
gonna pause.
goodness.
I was gonna pause it as well. Okay, a lot of information to kind of unpack here. I like what you're saying, but hip hop. If you wanted to comment, go ahead.
Okay, this is what I see all the time, whether it's on the creationist side or the atheistic. Earth was the universe was a random event with no creator involved, and it just everything by chance just happened to create us and deliver us to this moment in time. Okay,
Nothing created us or a creator.
exactly everything was all random, and we are all the result of this random process that delivered us to this amazing point in time, 2024. Okay, I find total confusion on both sides. Okay, and I know this is going to create problems for me by saying what I believe, but I believe it, and I don't care. I'll defend it. I know how to defend it, and all I ask is that whoever is listening on the other side of my argument, just to at least give me enough respect to allow me to make my argument and to explain how I see the Bible backing my argument. Okay?
Okay.
I am
That's
not
fair,
a
hip-hop.
person. I am not a person that does not believe in science. I don't. I believe that science fully supports God and the existence of a creator. Okay?
Have you
But
heard of the Fermi's paradox?
What is it?
Yeah, Fermi paradox.
What is it? What is that the word? Brett, explain that for us. You're
It's
gonna
kind
love
of
this,
off
hip-hop.
topic, but I mean,
I mean,
Brett,
it's a
I'm
great
glad you're
defense
back.
for evolution
Brett, I'm
against
glad you're
evolution,
back.
though. Explain it to us, Brett. Hip hop, you'll love this, and then you can have it back, Lupin.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why the person said that the Fermi paradox wouldn't have any connection with this. This is about the universe and how people perceive life. So here it is. If evolution and abiogenesis actually happened, then we should be seeing signs of it all over the universe. According to scientists, there's billions of planets. So why isn't it we're not seeing anything out there? Most Christians would agree that if you do see something, it's most likely going to be of an angelic nature. Am I right?
That's what
Or
we're
an
going with.
extraterrestrial. Yes, an extraterrestrial. Yeah, I agree 100% with you. I agree 100% with you. If yes, if the random process that most atheists subscribe to were to have that much foundation, then we should see it all over the universe.
Can I just make a quick correction? I don't think that scientists think that evolution is random.
What are you claiming? It's goal oriented?
No, I'm saying that it's not a random process. There are things influencing it.
I mean, to be
Well,
honest, though,
things influencing Master Blaster. Are you saying things influencing it
hip hop,
other than God?
We got to try to share the mic, though. Hip
Yeah,
hop.
like nature.
Okay, so what do you think influenced it then? This I'd like to hear because I've never heard an actual scientist be able to come up with a coherent argument for abiogenesis. They can argue some evolution, but not abiogenesis.
Well, that's what I was referring to as evolution. I don't think evolution is a random process. It's guided by the restrictions within the species, right?
Sure, but
the environment guides it.
Abiogenesis, by definition, though, is the first step of evolution. If you look in I've got into this conversation several times in my own show, but you don't think that happened randomly like most atheists do?
Well, I don't think that I don't think that most atheists think it's happened randomly. I don't think that's a thing. That's not something that's accurate. I don't think. I think that's a misrepresentation.
I would have to be honest. I think that's opposite. Like the only thing, no disrespect, the only thing I hear from atheists more than I don't know or we don't know is random chance, random mutation. I mean, it's all random.
Yeah,
I'm surprised you hold to this theory.
Well, no,
sorry about that, Andrew, but every atheist I've heard argue with Kent Hovind or Standing for Truth or Andrew or myself, they always claim that it's some kind of chaotic soup. And through this primordial ooze, the right chemistry hit together, and then voila. If you claim it's goal oriented and it actually had some kind of function to it.
No.
Go ahead.
I'm saying it's not random in the sense that it's just not just happening randomly. I'm saying that it's guided by the environment.
Are you a theist?
No.
You sound like you're arguing for Christian evolution.
Yeah,
I'll
take that as a positive. I think Master Blaster, if you don't mind my challenging you, I think that what you're describing is totally semantical in every way, because no, 99% of all atheist positions on the origins of life, okay, are they never include God, they never include a creator, and they always include what Brett just referred to, a chemical process that eventually produce subsequently more complex. Let him finish this statement, and then
I'm almost done.
The floor.
Subsequent chemical compositions that eventually led to the creation of life. That is random.
All right, hip hop, real quick. You're asking really, really good questions. So please don't stop asking questions. But in each question, you're giving him a lot to respond to. So could you please try to make your questions short, because they are very good, but they need to be shorter so he can better answer them. Does that make sense, hip hop?
Yes, it does make sense, Stephen.
All right.
I wish I could be like you, but I may not be.
Why
But I'll try.
why don't we do our friend here? Let's simplify it for him and just cut it right down to this. Do you believe that there is some kind of function or some kind of purpose to this? Because if you don't, then you would have to go opposite.
Well, I don't know.
spectrum
Maybe
and
the
say,
universe.
random chemicals came together.
Maybe the universe just creates life naturally, right? So maybe that's just a byproduct of the universe. Why can't it be that?
Well, how would you be able to prove that, though?
Well, I wouldn't. I'm definitely hypothesizing there. But I'm saying that you can't say that it's just pure random chance. It could not be, right? It could be the universe is just set up to create life. That's just how it is.
The reason why I think, and I don't want to generalize and throw you in the same box with other non-believers, but the reason why they suggest that it was blind, because it's a blind function, there's no sentience behind it. They believe that the chemicals got together. Even Stephen Hawking, one of the most brilliant atheists, they claim, said that we are mathematically impossible, that we could literally be defined as a miracle because life shouldn't have happened. Just one single thing off in the universe and we wouldn't be here.
Amen.
And what I say to what you said, Master, is that yes, that it could be is a big thing that you left in there. Okay, we as creationists have a very succinct and very clear, identifiable and explainable explanation of how the universe was created and the purpose for why it was created. It's all in the Bible.
I'm not so sure that because you can't account for a God.
Well, that's the reason why I think Stephen in the first place brought up the Fermi paradox. You see, if you're right about what you're saying, and I actually, in a way, agree with you, I believe that God created us and he had us a purpose and function from the get-go. I believe we were designed to be able to function like we are even now. But you're basically stating that this is some byproduct of the universe. Well, if that's so, then the Fermi paradox shouldn't be a thing. Then we should see
Yeah,
life forms all over the place.
I follow
sprouting up.
cosmology a lot, and there's a lot of talk of scientists coming out with papers saying, "Hey, we might have actual evidence that there is life on other planets, and they're going to have actual evidence to back it up."
Oh yeah, we got lizard monsters running around in Miami Mall. I heard recently. So who knows?
Well, I'm
right?
not talking about that, Brett.
You have to take into account that word that you introduced in your
Might.
statement. That might. That
Yeah, because
might.
I don't claim to know things I don't know. Why would I?
No, I get that. But might is again something whenever you use the word might in a sentence, you're talking about theory.
Well, hypothetical is not
Can
not a
Same
scientific theory.
same thing, basically.
Maybe a layman's theory, sure, I guess.
Well,
Okay, maybe layman's theory, but in reality, yes, it might is a hypothetical theory, speculation. All of these things are inclusive with that word.
Well, here's
might.
my problem. My problem was you said, "Hey, it's
Could
all
have,
intense," and that's not
could have.
necessarily true because we don't actually know that. We don't know. We don't have anything to compare this universe to, so we don't actually know if it's completely random. I mean, do you think a snowflake forming is random, or is it a byproduct of the environment?
A snowflake is a random byproduct of the environment. Yes,
How can it be random if it's a byproduct of the environment?
a speck of dust creates, because of the laws of the universe and science, okay, and matter, creates a snowflake. Yes,
Also,
dust.
he
Go
just
ahead.
moved the
I'm
argument.
just confused
He
because when I
moved-
talk to like biologists, they don't use the word random.
So if you
No,
don't
they
mind,
don't. No, they
boy.
don't. It is. I'm sorry, Brett. I'm sorry, Brett. I'll be short. No, they don't use it because they know that that opens them up to scrutiny and to
Skepticism.
I
yes.
think they don't use that word because it's not accurate, and the fact that you use it is inaccurate.
How?
I mean,
explained
especially
already,
since
because you can't have it's not
you are
random.
literally, but you're literally
question
the
is-
only atheist I have ever heard say counter to it all being random. Like you are, we do this for a living. We host atheists every week
Well,
to debate,
I don't
and
think
you are
that's
the
true because
only one.
people don't claim
I
that
swear
evolution
to
is
you,
random.
you are
That's
the
not true
only
at
one.
all.
Blade Master, if you go through
Blaster.
Stevens videos, including my own shows with some of the same amount of people, as well as a whole bunch of debates by Kent Hovind, you're going to see that atheists usually argue that it's blind process, that there's no order or function to it.
No, they don't.
Yes,
No,
they do.
they don't.
This is why I don't
says he
respect
doesn't.
atheists.
He said he
because
doesn't.
You can't
Can
hold
you
them
guys,
to
can
any
you guys
one
bring me
opinion.
an example of someone doing that? Can you show me an example of someone saying that?
Yeah, one of the biggest atheist YouTubers out there, who's very, very popular, is Thunderfoot.
A biologist?
He has argued this. Well, you're not any further in ranking with the education of Thunderfoot, are you?
No, but I am friends with the local biology teacher that teaches at the university here, and I do play softball with the biologist. My best friend's a biologist. I do know a lot of biologists.
You ask me to list off atheists who say this.
No, I'm asking you to give me an example of someone that actually says that the evolution is purely random chance.
Thunderfoot is one of them. Aaron Ra has been one of them.
I've never heard him say that.
All the popular atheists out there.
So survival of the fittest.
Well, I'm sorry, Blaster, but
Survival of the
everybody else
fittest.
in here has confirmed they've heard it. I'm sorry that you don't
it might be you guys
process
are hearing
information.
things.
I'm
Last-
surprised you're the only one who hasn't heard it, Blaster.
Really?
Like, I'm shocked.
Really quick, Blaster. Okay, so are you're saying that evolution is random or is not?
No, it's not. No, why? No, because it's influenced by the environment. It's not just the mutations themselves are random, but the byproduct, but the outcome is not random. It's because of the environment. It's influenced.
Okay,
by
but then how did it develop and start mutating before the environment? Like, it had to start from somewhere, right? And the environment wasn't yet there for it to evolve into. I mean,
what do you mean?
The cart's before the horse. What do you mean? How does that make sense?
Adaptation, animals adapt, right? That's not adaptation is not random. It's the animals that don't adapt die.
Yes, that'd be natural selection.
Yes, so therefore it's not random.
Which you could also say is random chance, right?
No,
survival of the fittest.
I don't.
You
well,
have
no,
a
it's not
random chance of having mutations that make you survive better in your environment, right?
Well, the animals that are the most fittest will survive, right? That's the whole thing.
Which you get these mutations randomly. Or are you saying that the wolf chose to turn into a predator? Is it a choice?
No.
Or was it random chance?
There are things that, like the mutations themselves are random,
okay,
correct?
Gotcha.
But the way that evolution works is not random.
Let me ask you a question, Master Blaster. Have you ever heard of irreducible complexity?
Yes.
Okay, what do you think about that? Uh-oh.
I don't know.
Type it up. Gotta type it up. Irreducible complexity means that in an organism, a live organism, if you take any of the, and I'm using layman's terms, okay, but long-winded, not like Stevens. Sorry, Stevens.
I love you, hip hop.
Okay, irreducible complexity says that if you take an organism and you take a piece of it off, let me just try and speed it up a little bit. Oh God. If you take a little piece of it, all of a sudden that organism ceases to live, ceases to exist, ceases to properly function. Okay? And that works not just for the high end of the spectrum of DNA, like us, but even down to the single-celled organisms. Okay? Now, if creation is totally random, how can you explain that?
I have no idea what you put forth there. I'm not making that out. But real quick though, here, if you guys go over to Google here real quick and type random chance evolution, seems like every evolutionist scientist says exactly what we've been saying to this guy. I'm not sure that we're talking about on the same page here, Blaster Master, because it says right here in the very definition, it says natural selection acts to ensure the survival of the fittest. But random chance also played a huge role in the history of life on Earth. From meteorite strikes to massive earthquakes, the randomness also lies at the core of the evolutionary process.
Right, but that doesn't say that evolution itself is random. Notice that?
The variables of the environment is what impacts evolution, and chaotic stuff like meteorites, asteroids. I mean, I just read the definition right out of the dictionary.
Well, okay, so let's follow this to its logical conclusion. You believe you come from stardust. So the meteorite that brought the stardust, was that a random chance or was that a guided process? Because if that's a guided process, you believe in God.
No, I don't think it was guided by any intelligence.
Then it was random,
I think
right?
it was guided by nature.
It was guided by randomness.
By the laws of physics.
Can I bring it to like a different level here? I'm sorry, I'm going to change the topic just a little bit here. Blaster, do you think that dinosaurs evolved into birds?
Absolutely. I had a parrot. That thing was definitely a dinosaur.
Huh. Well, I mean,
What processes have to take place for that to happen?
Changes over time.
Oh yeah, you give anything time, your peanut butter will jump out of the fridge and start.
Yeah, I
dancing.
mean, you guys accept that change happens, right?
We accept that there are variations of kind.
Yeah,
Change
so
in species.
We don't
the problem is you guys don't.
We do not accept that a bird will turn into a dinosaur or an
Right.
ape. No.
So you can
we
drop.
do not accept
You can
that.
drop drips. You can drop water droplets in a bucket, but it will never get full. For you guys, it'll never fill the bucket.
That
fill the
how
bucket.
does that at all
Yeah.
equate to what we're saying?
Because I'm saying what happens in evolution is the water rises up and it fills the bucket, and then you have something completely different than when you started with the bucket.
You don't though.
You still have a bucket of water. It's a
Exactly.
bucket of, it's still a bucket of water. It didn't turn into a bucket of Kool-Aid.
But Lupin, what if we leave the faucet running for 1,000,000 years?
Then
Would the bucket of water be anything but a bucket of water? Dude, does any of this honestly?
Well, no. So the analogy is you guys are saying, hey, we accept that there's water dropping into a bucket, but we don't accept that the bucket's going to ever fill up.
No, we don't accept that the bucket's ever going to turn into a broom. You don't see the difference? We believe that no matter how many billions of years,
doesn't say the
bucket of water will never be anything but a bucket of water.
Gross misunderstanding of evolution.
Okay, so you're saying that over billions of years, things don't evolve? You're the weirdest evolutionist I've ever met in my life.
Of course things evolve.
You really represent evolution?
So, oh man,
I don't think I said anything that's wrong.
The bucket of water analogy isn't working because you still.
No,
I mean,
it's a terrible analogy because
it's
in
a
a
bad
billion years, a bucket of water will still be a bucket of water.
Will it be full of water?
Yeah,
Okay,
it will
then
be.
It might
Does
even
that
if you have enough changes
does that
over
change the
time,
bucket from the bucket?
If you put enough changes into something over time, is that going to change it?
Dude, we
Can
have
I ask you
never
a question,
observed
though?
that ever.
Yes, we have.
No, we have not. You have observed a breed of dog turn into another breed of dog through man's manipulation. You have never, ever observed a species eventually mutate into another species. That's disingenuous. It has never been observed, ever.
Okay.
May I ask a question of you, Master Blaster?
Sure.
If I was able to show you a progression, albeit in poetic language, biblical language, that followed a structured and logical and purposeful process for creation of life all the way up to humanity in the Bible, would you accept it?
What? You're saying
Okay,
if
let
you
me
could
let me
explain
say.
life
Wait.
via the
Let me
Bible,
try
would I
it.
accept it?
Stephen, do you think that you could explain it to him in a better way?
What? Just let me ask.
Are
you saying that if you could explain to me how life arose via the Bible, would I accept that?
Yes. Okay, that's a great way. That's
Is
a
that what you're
very
asking?
quick.
I mean, that would be simple if you'd accept it.
Wait. It would be better said if I showed you a logical and scientific way that is explained in the Bible for the creation of life all the way up to mankind, okay? Not just single-celled organisms, but mankind. Would you accept it?
If you could get it peer-reviewed and accepted as mainstream science, sure.
Okay, you know what? I'm glad you said that because I intend, and Stephen and Lupin and Heart of Flesh, and of course you too, Brett Keene. I intend to submit this to the what is it? The Nobel Prize Committee, so that we could go ahead and get the Nobel Prize, all of us. But the question more important is, would you accept it?
If it was accepted by people that are professionals in the field, yes.
Okay, you would
By
have to.
like
You
the
would have
majority
to
of
basically.
scientists, like
Okay, wait. What
consensus.
you're saying is you would have to get other people to basically put their seal of approval before you
Yeah, I would-
accepted anything to be true.
I
You would
would
not be
need
able
the
to. You would
people that
You would
are-
not be able to conceptualize it. You would not be able to interpret it. You will not be. You have to get other people to tell you, yeah, this
yeah,
is true.
trust professionals.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. I love you too, Steven.
I mean, my wife's
I
getting
just
a
got
PhD.
back
I
when I
don't,
heard my name
I don't
mentioned.
argue with
What's up?
her about like linguistics because she's getting a PhD in it. Why would I?
All right, so somebody mentioned my name. What's up?
Oh God. Hey, this is what
Hip hop mentioned you, but I'm not sure why. It wasn't anything
Okay.
negative though.
Brett, this is what I asked Master Blaster. I'm going to try it one more time. If I was able to explain with poetic Hebrew language, okay, a process by which the universe was created, the planets and matter and all of that involves all of that, and also life, all the way from single-celled organisms to advanced DNA structured creatures like humans, okay? If I was able to present to you that, would you be able to accept it as truth?
You're asking me if I actually
No, I'm asking. I'm asking Master Blaster. That's what you missed. I'm giving you what you missed.
Okay.
He's just
Well, evolution
Okay.
isn't it isn't something.
No,
that is
but
observable.
no. I want to. Hey, can I'm sorry, Brett. Can we let Master Blaster or Master
Blaster.
Master
Just call me Blaster.
Blaster? Okay, Blaster. Can you reply to that?
Yeah, like I said, I think if it passed, if it was considered a scientific consensus amongst the professionals in the field, yeah, I would accept it.
Okay, so you would have to get some type of scientific
Yes,
paper.
he needs
some
it.
type
He
of,
needs it peer reviewed by scientists, by secular scientists,
okay.
and it to
Okay.
be peer
Yeah,
reviewed.
I would trust.
What if they were paid? What if they were paid not to believe that or accept
Scientists do not
Would
make
you-
much money. Especially
What?
Scientists do not make much money.
a ton of money.
Okay.
No.
Good luck on that one. But no,
A lot of
I'm,
them are
I'm
professors.
curious. I'm curious. Would you be able to allow your mind to conceptualize a
Bubblegum, I'm sorry.
We're just going to go to
a
conspiracy
biblical,
land. I'm not there with you, dude.
a biblical version of creation?
Okay, so Andrew, did you hear what Blaster said a moment ago? He said that if scientists say something, then that's what he's going with.
No, I said I will accept the scientific consensus.
Okay. Well, that's wonderful because according to this, I can give you this article if you like. It's called Evolution News. Over 1,000 doctoral scientists who are peer reviewed have denied evolution in our modern times. So let me go ahead and get that up there for
Oh, is
you.
that consensus then? Amongst
Oh yeah, you said
the
that if
majority of
scientists
scientists
said
then, Brett?
something,
Is
you
that
would
what that
go-
is? Or is it
you
just
said-
like 1,000 people out of
See what
100?
I mean, ladies
A
and
million.
gentlemen? This guy
But,
is
I mean,
with
it is fair. You did say if we could find a peer reviewed article, and if Brett
That
King
had
found
scientific consensus amongst the professionals,
Well,
meaning not just
Here you
1,000
go.
people.
These are scientists. So let's go ahead and see if this guy's going to keep
So the
his
majority
word.
of scientists.
Sorry, Brett. I muted him for a minute.
Yeah, he just keeps on babbling over me because he doesn't want the truth. Let me go ahead and put that link in
I mean,
private
it's a
chat.
shame. We could have a really good dialogue if he would just talk in turn.
There you go, right there.
But I mean, you could share your screen and we could share it. I could pull it
No,
up.
I'm having too much lag through Chrome right now. I can't sit there and do it. I put the link up. If you guys want to share it, you can, but I'm having too much
I'll
lag.
share it. Goodness gracious.
What's that
So-
title say? What's that
So
title say, Steve?
how many scientists?
Blaster, are
It's
you
1,000?
able to? Do you understand
I'm
how
not-
conversation
Yep.
works?
Yes.
Excuse
Do
me,
you, Brett?
gentlemen.
Can you
Excuse
mute
me,
this piece of
gentlemen.
trash? He keeps on yapping right over me every time.
Hey,
I
we're
talk.
not gonna.
I'm just trying to
We're
ask
not
a
gonna
question.
insult people. Don't
Well, if
insult
he's
people.
gonna
I would
lie,
love
he,
to-
he just keeps on lying.
I'm just
and
trying to
cutting
ask a
people out.
question.
I would love to read the title. Skepticism about Darwinism, Darwinian evolution grow as 1,000+ scientists share their doubts. And this is just the beginning.
So that would be what percentage out of 8.8 million scientists?
I don't know. You claim to be the scientific one. You do the math.
Well, I wasn't aware there was 8 million scientists out there. That's a weird number you threw on there.
It is an oddly specific and
It would be
even one.
That means damn
0.008%.
near almost 80% of the human race are scientists. How about that?
8.8 million?
That's a lot of scientists you're claiming to exist. But yeah, I mean, you're going to throw any numbers out there, and time is magical. With time, your parakeet can turn into a banana. We get it.
I'm just 1,000 people out of how many scientists is not consensus, Brett. That's
He
not.
didn't even bother reading it. He just was given the page. He didn't even bother to read who the scientists are.
So, would you take some time to read that article? It doesn't have to be right now, but would you take some
Sure.
time?
Sure. Yeah, I'll read it. I have no problem reading the article. My problem
Okay.
is it's not responding to what I was actually saying, Brett. It's just a red herring.
Okay.
No, I provided facts, and you're giving me some hypothetical of 8 million scientists who don't exist. There is
Google
no
how
8
many
million
scientists exist in the world?
What
Brett?
does this have to do with 1,000+ scientists denying evolution?
Because I said if I had consensus amongst
until you
all the
research
scientists,
it, until
you know
you
what scientific
read it, I
consensus
do
means,
not
Brett?
take you seriously anymore, sir. You
Do you
won't
know-
even bother to read the information.
Do you
for
know what
yourself.
scientific
I'm done with
consensus
you.
means?
I'll let somebody else pick on you for a while because you are not
Okay.
intellectually honest.
Okay, run.
Oh, I'm not running. I'm just
Yeah,
not
you
going to
are.
talk to you anymore. I'm going to talk
Yeah,
to
because
other
you can't
people
answer
in
my
the
question
room.
because you're
This
dishonest.
guy's a clown. He's not even looking into the research.
All
He
right.
doesn't
Well,
care about
Brett,
science.
I timed him out for just a second, and let's try not to turn to personal insults. Lupin, for the love of every prize-winning Azalea, take your show back over.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll continue with this really quick. Oh, man, Achilles is killing me with the 30-minute video, but let's see. So let me ask you this, Blaster, really quick. Do you believe? What's your feelings on the Bible and the historicity and the evidence that supports the Bible? If you feel like there is any evidence.
Well, he's not here. He apparently rage quitted.
He just left. That's unfortunate. Crap. Shoot.
It was rather dramatic.
Yeah. I mean,
How else shall we respond if you give somebody a question and the information, and they claim that if they're given certain information, then they'll change their thought process? But the guy didn't even take a minute to look at it. He's just like, nah, I don't want no truth in my life. I don't even care what science says anymore. I'm just going to keep on going.
Well, and I say this to you, Brett. This is what I encounter with a lot of atheists and a lot of people that do not want. They are committed to not ever accepting the existence of God. They will get to a point where they'll say, "Oh no, I have to get some other confirmation." It's almost like it's impossible for them to rationalize things, to think about things, to analyze things.
Yeah, there's no interest whatsoever. A lot of these social media atheists, they claim that they care so much about science, but if you give them any information, they won't take a minute to look at it. To them, it's about coming into a room and causing some drama and some disruption, getting some attention out of it. That's all it is.
Well,
Exactly.
I don't think he was trying to cause too much drama, but I do think that his argument was very weak, and the analogy and metaphor of the water dripping into the bucket was, I mean, that was probably one of the I mean, I hate to
Yeah.
say it, but that was one of the worst arguments I've heard. And I've heard
Absolutely.
some pretty bad ones.
You know, I got a
Absolutely.
couple buckets outside, and whenever it rains and snows and all that, I have yet to see some kind of sentient life form pop out of that and then suddenly fly away. So I don't know I don't even know what he was talking about there. That sounded like fantasy world to me.
I mean, a
I
lot of
I
their
have
stuff is fantasy. I mean, a lot of their stuff is fantasy and imagination. And sure, they could say the same about us, but I mean, as Christians, we do accept that our reality that we live in now is based on biblical concepts.
Well, I mean,
Uh,
look at the information we've got, Lupin. We've got over 2,000 years just on the New Testament alone, with scholars and scientists who actually endorse theology and the belief in God. And what have they got? A guy from 150 years ago that was doing opium and staring at monkeys in the zoo and said, "Ah, that seems very similar to myself. Let's go with it." So I don't know.
Boom, boom. It's exactly right. But what amazes me is that even if yes, you rationalize what you just said there, it's today. There's people like Behe that have pierced into the cell, and they have seen the DNA. That DNA is not DNA. DNA is a program language that produces a certain creature, a certain being, a certain plant, a certain animal, a human, even. Okay, and if you disrupt DNA, okay, by chance. You know what happens to any of those creatures?
they
They
die.
cease to exist. They die. Yes, irreducible complexity means if you want to see the end of evolution, because I used to believe evolution when I was younger. If you want to see the end of evolution as a viable theory, just look into the study and the work that Behe and that other guy and that other British guy, I can't remember their names, they
Lennox,
go into. Yeah, Lennox, and it's a Jewish name. I can't remember his name. Um,
John Lennox, I think.
but no, well, Lennox is the British guy. There's another guy, and he's got a Jewish name. But I mean, I don't. Look, what I'm saying to you is they have found that DNA in the cell of all organisms creates that organism without if you disrupt the programming, the programming language that DNA is, it's over. It's over. If you take just one, it's like they use the mousetrap argument. If you take one component of a mousetrap, that mousetrap will never catch a mouse. Okay? And but so biogenesis and all that abiogenesis falls flat immediately when you think that any single celled organism that was before any human or animal or even plant life existed had a genetic code that God himself inserted into that cell, even if it was a single cell organism, that allowed it to exist.
I believe
Boom,
I
it's
believe what
over.
you're talking about is blueprint DNA. Basically, our bodies and animals are designed to basically do a blueprint, basically a copy. That's what we're set up to do, is make copies. That's how we make offspring. At no point in time has it ever been observed that a copy of ourselves suddenly grew wings and flew to the gas station to pick up cigarettes.
I mean,
Correct. Your daughter's DNA, okay, let's say your daughter's DNA produced the condition that she has, right? Okay, she's you and her and your family are dealing with it the best way that you can, because science allows you to correct certain things, right? But if there was an enough, if there was a big enough disruption in the DNA code that created you, your wife, your daughter, whoever was involved in creating all of you, okay? If there was an enough of a disruption in that code, in that the genetic code, then you know what would happen to you? You would either be such a aberration that you would cease to exist, or you would not even exist, period. And that works for humans, and it goes all the way down to single cell organisms that have a little tail
right.
that allow them to move. If you took that little tail, that little organism would never move, and it would die.
Okay. Well, look. Yes. Yeah. If you remove one part from the complex machine that that even the single cell organism, which evolutionists like to say is a simple thing, it's not. It will die completely. Look, I want to.
What I'm trying to say by this, Lupin, I just want to, abiogenesis could only exist, okay, if God was involved.
I wouldn't disagree with you there. It's just not biblically there that you could see it. So look, let me go ahead
But
and answer.
but no, wait. But wait.
You've been
That was
talking.
my challenge.
Okay.
I know.
Well,
That was
let
my
me.
challenge to him. That
Okay,
was my
well, he's
challenge
no
to
longer
him.
here, so we can't really get a response back from him. So, I mean, if he's listening, can you shorten it down? Because I want to answer this question, and then I'm going to shut it down really quick.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead. Take over your show. Come on.
Okay, so a certain kind, whatever that means, bubblegum. Are you asking what a certain kind is? Okay, so let's get a perch fish, a perch fish. Let's get a bass. Let's get a trout. And let's get a caterpillar. Which one of those is a different kind? Because the atheists seem to get a hold of
Say
kind.
that again. Say that again.
So let's see. So atheists like to get hung up on the word kind and say it's not scientific. When I mean kind, the word kind is it's a very simplistic thing. So they want to make it more complex, but just because it's in the Bible, they say, well, it's not scientific. Okay, so if you have, let's say, okay, I have a bass fish, a perch fish, and a catfish, and I have a sunfish, and then I have and then I have a snake,
a trout.
No,
Okay.
a snake.
Okay.
Which one is a different kind?
They're all different kinds. They're
Well,
all
no,
different
you have kinds of fish, but there's
Oh,
a
I'm sorry.
snake. A
Yeah,
snake
no,
is
no,
not,
no.
not the same kind as a fish.
Okay, wait. I'm sorry. Look, what I'm trying to say is they're all different kinds because the genetic code for every single one of them is different, and it only works to create, like you said, in its kind. Okay? Yes. Now, you have fish. Okay. God, the Bible says that God allowed things to procreate and to
Bring forth.
bring forth. That's a word. Beautiful. It's a poetic language. It's a beautiful language that says, yes, it'll bring forth of its kind, right? A fish could have started with one fish and gone into many different fishes, but in my view, God created a lot of different fishes when He created the fishes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, they're fish. I mean, it's so it's so
no,
strange. It's
what I'm trying to say to you, Lupin, is that DNA shows that the DNA that creates a sunfish cannot create a catfish. Okay? The DNA that creates a whale cannot create a dolphin. The DNA that creates a amoeba cannot create a ciliate, an animal with a ciliate nature, or all the different types of amoebas, all the different type of amoebas.
genetic code
Yes.
is just not there. It's just not there.
The genetic code is a program language. It's a program language. Now we realize, now we know, because of cellular scientists or bioscience, that genetic code it's a program to produce a sunfish, it's a program to produce an ape, it's a program to produce an amoeba, it's a program to produce a koalaganthe or whatever that deep sea fish is. Koalacanth or whatever the hell that name is. Okay, it produces a human. It produces Brett's daughter. Okay, him and his wife got together, and by the process of human sexual reproduction, it created a cell, and that cell had a genetic program that allowed it to become his daughter.
Okay, you lost me.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna end the stream. Bye, everybody. Have a good day. God bless. Take care.
What's your case? Our case is simply this.
That is unfair. That is unfair.